Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow toaster strudels. This your host with the most, A.K.A. also known as Nail Slinger. I know y'all just saw me just probably a few minutes ago, where I uploaded my previous video, but something sparked in my mind that I was like, you know what, real quick, this shouldn't take too long, y'all. But this is kind of like essentially going to be a bit of a part two, or a much more elaborated section from that video. So I just want y'all to, again, if you haven't watched that one, pause this one, go to that one first, and then come back to this one, right? And the reason why I do that is because a thought sparked in my head. And like I said, I didn't want the video to go too long, but I said this one might be able to, get what I'm trying to get at in a timely fashion. Anyhow, y'all, I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Since I brought up the notion of a power dynamic when it comes to the notion of sex or committing sexual actions, I thought to myself, and this is the reason why I did mention to the ladies in that video, I said, ladies, take a step back for a minute. But in this one, I want to pull y'all back in for a moment. Because I said to myself, just a few minutes ago, like I said, y'all just processing it through my mind. I said to myself, you know what? To be fair to my women out here, I think it is important, fellas, that, again, let's take a moment to say to ourselves, you know what? I'm not a woman, but what can I do to empathize with them in a manner in which it doesn't necessarily take away my understanding of who I am or what I am, but it understands that how does that reflect off of our counterpart in a sense? Because you know what, y'all? I think it's important to understand that, yes, fellas, I know sometimes for us it does feel confusing where if a woman later on says, oh, I didn't enjoy the experience, and they try to make the situation bigger than, in our eyes, to be fair, more bigger than it should be, I think sometimes we tend to forget that, again, at the end of the day, women are women for a reason. Men are men for a reason. The way that we perceive sex or sexual acts is going to be different than the way a woman's going to take it. Because think about it like this. For instance, if I got my dick sucked by someone, a young lady, let's say 5'2". Let's just say 5'2", for example, and I'm 6'2". I'm substantially much bigger than her. I'm much larger than her. And again, you got to remember, y'all, even despite how well we may know each other, my physicality and what I'm capable of doing is ultimately going to super exceed who I am in that moment in her mind in terms of saying, what if she says no? What am I going to do? Because again, y'all, you never know. Again, in her mind, I get it. You never know what may come to pass. If you refuse someone who you can tell off the bat physically can harm you and you really can't do much. And so here's the thing, yes. And some of y'all know about, I forget what the man's name is, but one of those, his name on top of my tongue, but some of y'all know who I'm probably talking about. Aziz Ansari? I probably pronounced his name wrong, but essentially, y'all, a few years ago, he had a date. He went on a date with a young lady. It seemed like they were vibing, they were chilling, but at some point when they got home or got to his house or his apartment, whatever, she started showing signs that she wasn't into it. And, at some point she vocalized and said, oh, I don't want to do this, or, wasn't in the mood. And he was like, okay, my bad, let's stop. Now, later on, she decided to go to the public and, say, it kind of like, as in a way, I don't want to say exaggerate the, no. Let's say that. Exaggerate the situation. But at the same time, what I've now, looking back and I'm taking consideration is, you know what? To be fair to her, and I think, for the most part, I think, to be fair to all women, or most women, that again, when they engage us, y'all, you gotta keep in mind, at the end of the day, a woman is a woman. That's never gonna dissipate. So I say this, and I agree with most men who say this. If a woman says no, cut it off. If something in her body language is telling you something else is going on, but they don't want to vocally say it, cut it off for a minute. And again, even when you pull it to the side and just be like, hey, are you sure you still want to do this? Even if they say, oh yeah, be like, you know what? Let's take a ring check. Because think about it like this. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Again, fellas, just think about this. What's the worst thing what's the worst thing that's going to happen? And ladies, I want y'all to take this in consideration too. But I'm going to speak to my fellas for a minute. I want y'all to understand something. At the end of the day, what's the worst thing that's going to happen if you'll get your dick sucked that day? Or that evening, or that afternoon, whatever the case may be. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? To just say, baby, let's take a rain check. Because something's going on that you just don't want to tell me. And ladies, I understand. Once again, I have great empathy for you guys. But I want to encourage you guys, do not forget, at the end of the day, regardless of you and your stature and your circumstances in life, you're still in a, well, for the most part, if you're at a certain stage in your life where you can be acknowledged as an adult, sweetheart, then act like an adult. I don't think that's hard to understand. If you are not in a place where you feel comfortable in giving your consent, then again, say, you know what, baby, I'm sorry, take a rain check. Now, I say this, yes, if it becomes a bad habit, time and time again, can I understand from a man's point of view how that frustrates us? It makes us say, you know what, I'm gonna let you go. So there's a balancing act that needs to be done, to be fair on both ends. Because you know what, here's the thing, guys. And ladies, understand this too. Men are in the same, I ain't gonna say the same, but in a certain position of themselves. Sometimes if we're engaging a woman from a sexual point of view, and honestly, we're not always there, our mind doesn't go, oh, let me exaggerate the situation to give some kind of clout or some kind of public sympathy. That's not necessarily where our mind goes. We just might go with, you know what? Just take one on the chin. And it is what it is. Not every woman a man's going to lay down with may not be a woman he generally likes to lay down with. But he knows the situation for what it is. And again, he has the means to where he's like, man, I'm good. But I can respectfully understand from a man's point of view at this point is, for some ladies, and ladies, again, I just want y'all to take heed of this because of social media. I can understand where men may be in a position where they don't feel comfortable retracting their consent because they think to themselves, oh, I'm going to be put on blast and I'm essentially going to get my character assassinated. I want y'all to take that consideration too. Because again, it goes both ways. It's a double-edged sword. So I say this, y'all. The whole point what I want to bring up on this particular video is just say this. When we think about consent, I want us to understand that even though, yes, when we give consent, the motivation behind giving that consent may not be from a genuine place, or it may not come from a place we want it to come from. And I'm not trying to, again, share that with you guys to make it even more confusing, but to have an understanding of, again, talk with your partner. Be a responsible partner. Not just in the realm of sex, but just as a decent human being and the means of communicating with that person, especially when you share an intimate moment that, again, may go a little left field for them. It may not be for you. But I would think to myself, it does not break the bank to just take that in consideration for a cool 5 minutes of your day or night or evening, whatever the case may be. Well, hold on. Afternoon. You know what I'm trying to say. But anyhow, y'all, I'll catch y'all later. Anything else in particular I want to share with you guys real quick while I was on top of my head? Not really. I'll catch y'all later. Peace out. Namaste. A-Town down. And I love y'all. And give me some forehead kisses. All right. Bye. Oh, hold on. Oh, follow my Twitter stuff. Again, it'll be in the description box down below. All right. Peace, y'all. Bye.